Hey, thank you for watching Slevin Gaming. So if you're here, I just wanted to talk about Spider-Man 2 on the ps5. If you haven't played it, I would say just go ahead and stop watching the video and wait until you play the game. If you want to continue watching, thank you for that. Anyway, so with Spider-Man 2, I loved it. I loved it so much. I got it for the ps5. I got the collector's edition. So I got the steelbook case, which I love. And then I don't know if you noticed about PlayStation games, but uh, PlayStation exclusive games have two sides on their sleeves most of the time. So that's the regular one, and then if you turn around, it's pretty cool, right? Anyways, so the Spider-Man 2, when Insomniac and started a new series, I was intrigued by everything. In the first trailer, I was intrigued. New costume. I was like, wow, okay, this is a new costume no one's ever seen before. And the game the first game was just amazing. I loved it. At the end, at the end, Aunt May dying, I was in tears. I was crying. I loved the missions. I did not enjoy Speedball, but I played the DLC, and then when Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales came out, I loved that even more. And I just remember thinking, like, how are they gonna make me want to play as Peter again? Because Miles was so amazing. He was traversal. He had more powers. He was, it was fun. So Spider-Man 2 came out, and they answered it, and I found myself playing as Peter more than Miles. In case you didn't know, you can switch off between the two, between Peter or Miles, while you're playing the game, and it doesn't affect the story. The story still goes one way, but you can switch off on who you're playing as. They both have their own powers, and they both get new powers and movesets. I love playing as Peter. Peter, cracked me up. He was who I wanted to be. Everything as Spider-Man was Peter. And the story for him was just it was great. The symbiote, the game itself reminded me of Web of Shadows, and I don't know if you ever played Web of Shadows. That was my favorite game, my favorite Spider-Man game, especially on the PS3. I love that game. Trophies weren't around at the time, so that's sad, because that would have been something I would have went for, a platinum trophy. But they went around, and but the game alone was amazing. The only thing that wasn't great about the Web of Shadow game was the voice actor, and it's nothing against him. It just didn't suit me, at all. But Spider-Man 2, it was amazing. The story was great. It's a game that doesn't slow down. It just goes. It just, once you start, it goes. And the game isn't that long. It's about 15 hours if you play straight through it. Maybe 18, which is not that long compared to some other games, but it's worth every penny in my opinion. The side missions lead up to things like if you played Arkham City and you did the side missions, you saw Hush, you saw Deadshot, all these side missions, and they led up to stuff in the future for the next game. And that's exactly what Spider-Man 2 did. The side missions were fun, but there was, some missions that led up, leading to Spider-Man 3, which whenever that's released or comes out. But yeah, Venom. Okay, let's start off with the story. So you start the game and you play, and one of the first fights you do is Sandman, and that fight was fun. Sandman's just huge. He's like taking up, New York downtown, I believe, and he's just destroying everything. So you get to play as Peter and Miles and learning stuff. And then classic Peter luck, he loses his job because he has to save New York. And then it just picks up from there. Like you meet Harry, which, if you didn't know, Harry on the first one, Harry Osborn was sick and he was being treated. You meet him and he's doing better now. And Peter got a new job working with Harry now. And then Miles is going through his thing because there was a RAF break-in and Lee got out. So, and Miles was also getting ready for college, trying to balance school and Spider-Man at the same time. It's getting hard for him, especially because he doesn't know how to sell himself without talking about the Spider-Man part, which is a big deal because that's huge in his life, you know, and you can't tell people that's what you're doing because then it puts your loved ones at danger. So, uh, Miles is going to die, and Lee breaks out of prison. He gets broken out of prison eventually, and that's a mission you come across. In case you don't remember, Lee, Mr. Negative, he uh, he was responsible for the death of Miles' dad. So there's, Miles has some history with him. Uh, and as Peter, you come across Craven, and Craven is introduced, and he is a beast. Craven, uh, when he's in the comics, it could be in the comics most of the time he's like someone who's not to be messed with. He's a guy who has eccentric hunting skills off the records and stuff like that. Uh, but I want to say like in the cartoon series, he's kind of played not like a joke, but a little bit because at the end of the day, he's just a regular guy hunting Spider-Man. Who Spider-Man has powers and is able just to best him, like with no sweat at all. But on the game, they don't do that. They gave Kraven some kind of, I'll say he's been like enhanced a little bit, so he does already have some kind of power. He's stronger than most. He's really strong, but he's also stronger than most average person. But he's a beast. He's hunting. He's not even hunting Spider-Man. He's hunting Spider-Man's rogue gallery, and Spider-Man's trying to stop that from happening because they're going after Connors, and then he shows Connors as a lizard, and that's just everything about the game was amazing. It was fun, and then the mechanics are great. All the fighting, the new powers are amazing. Spider-Man has they have a move where you could do a loop. So you swing and you dive and you throw a web out, and then they could loop, which is a huge deal. I mean, it's one loop. I've tried to do like that, but no, it's just one loop and then they fly off. And that oh my god, that was just me. It was that was great. It was real cool when I forgot what game it was, but when you played and you could zip people up to a street light, that was a huge deal for me. I remember that was introduced. I was like, "Whoa, this is great." Uh, but yeah, so you could loop, and then let's see, so I'm just everything is coming back because I beat the game last weekend, and I've just been marinating in it and just remembering. Like I haven't touched that game because whenever I beat a game and I love it, I want to make sure it's something I really love and I wasn't just blinded by it. But no, the game, like I loved it a lot. I want to replay it. I'm hoping they do like a new game plus, and I'll play it again to stream it. If not, I'll just replay it on my own. But yeah, so back to it. That's the moveset. Venom. Let's just talk about Venom. When let's talk about Spider with the symbiote suit. When Peter gets the symbiote suit, it's cool because he realizes he's stronger now and all these other things. And I'm gonna leave out some stuff so when you do play the game, you're surprised. Wow, like that's how it happened. So he gets the suit, and as the game progresses, the suit changes. Like his eyes, just go like that, and it start turning like sharper, and you can see more menacing looking. And Peter starts getting more aggressive, and his suit starts looking more aggressive. And when he's saving people, he's not saving them and placing them down. He's just tossing them off to the side. So there's little details like that help out in the game and sell what's going on with Peter. And and then when you do end up coming across, I'm gonna do a second video with like more detail because I want to not ruin a lot of stuff. But when you do come across Venom, you get to play as Venom for a little bit, and I can't remember the last time I played as Venom in a Spider-Man game, to be honest. For me, Last time I remember was on Maximum Carnage on the Super Nintendo, which, at that time, it was a fun game. It was a hard game, but it was a fun game. And I don't remember playing as Venom since that one game. But you play as Venom. You don't play for a long time, but when you do play as him, you play as him. And Venom is a tank of a character. A lot of times when they have you play as another character, they kind of do the same moveset. They just kind of change it around sometimes, well, same sprites and things like that, but it's just, a different character. This was not. Venom was his own, own character, and they made sure that, he could, one of his takedown moves is he bites them, like he holds them over and he bites them in the stomach, and anytime he moves, he's just destroying walls like a tank, just bashing through everything. It reminded me of the Avengers when you see the Hulk chasing Black Widow. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And then you're fighting, and Venom fights Craven, and that's just fun of its own. And then Venom ends up taking up the third act where he's a villain. And that's when the Web of Shadows comes into play, right? Because Venom takes over New York, putting the symbiote all over New York. And, Peter and Miles have to figure out how they're going to stop this from spreading. And everything's just great because the game's fun. There's side roles in there. There's side missions in there that link to the first and second game, which is hard hitting, heartbreaking. It's a mission with the pigeons. It was real fun to do. It was sad also to do. And then there's side missions where you that lead up to the next game. There's on what villains to expect for Spider-Man 3, which I'm just now looking forward to even more about it. And the end of the game was that was hard too, fighting Venom, because you're fighting and Miles and Venom have their own interaction, which I was like, wow, I get it. I get where they're both coming from. I get where Miles is coming from, and I get where Venom's coming from, and why they have like their relationship between them two. Because Miles was kind of jealous of Venom, and Venom was, envious of Miles. And then I see Peter and Venom's also interaction, because Peter just wants to save, them, and he feels like he's laying them down. He feels like he's, letting everyone down. And if you played the first one, he lost Aunt May. That was a huge deal because comics, movies, other than Spider-Man No Way Home, Aunt May's never died. So when that happened in the game, I was like, wow, I can't believe that happened. But yeah, so he's still hurt from that. He doesn't want to lose, Venom. He doesn't want to lose them at all. And then he knows how bad the suit could be. It makes you not in the right mind, makes you do things, not acting rationally at all. So he understands, but he has to. It's one of those things we have to choose between saving one or letting, like 1,000 die, thousands die. So it's just a Parker luck, I guess, if you want to say. Because it's one person, one being someone who's close to you. But yeah, the game's amazing. If you do decide to play it, I would say just make a day or two, free, and play the game. Have fun. Do every mission possible, because they all have meaning, which is great. It's not just go to point A and point B. Like, they all have stuff, and it makes you it makes you smile, which is a big deal to do in a game. Sorry about that. That being said, I'd like to show you my, what I got. One was from the first game, second one's from the second game. First game and the second game. All right. Thank you for watching Seven Gaming. If you liked the video, let me know. If you ever want to see me play, I'll put my link on the description. But thank you. Have a great day. Bye.